So I'll just go over some basics of Formative. I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you the data and how you can kind of use it to help you with instruction. So if I go over to edit, this is what it looks like when I'm actually creating a form or AKA like a virtual classwork. So I can import like my own directions. I can import any checklist that I might normally have on my classwork or things like that. You could also post like a resource if you need to, if it's like for modified kids or if you need kids to practice while referencing something like that. Then you can import questions. When you import a question, there are multiple different types that you can use. You can do anything from multiple choice, matching, short answer, essay. There's a ton of options that you can use. I mainly use the multiple choice and short answer and essay. So these are all multiple choice. When I click the plus button, I can add my question. I can also put images within my question as well, and then I have my answer choices. You'll also see a show your work button, which I'll explain in a second, is where kids can actually show work habits on the question itself. You can put as many questions as you want and keep scrolling down. Then you will assign it to whatever classes I teach 5th and 6th. So I have to assign certain ones to certain classes. This is a cool feature, I have a separate class for my modified kids or like my kids with an IEP. So these are modified type questions. It's the same question, but I've just modified it. Either it has 3 answer choices instead of 4. Sometimes I can include a resource just for that form and not for the other students as well. So it's kind of cool to differentiate my planning that way. This is the best part, though, which is viewing the responses. So this is how I collect the data throughout. Now, in your settings, you can actually adjust it so that each percentage range is identified by a different color, which makes it really easy as a teacher to know if your kids are doing well on a question or not. I've had to adjust my percentages differently than I would normally do if we were in the building. So I've already taught kids that there is a red zone, a yellow zone, and a green zone. The green is where we want to be. We want to be in the green zone, and I have that as anything 70 and higher. So you can see that once I click up here, totals, I can see my 3 classes, and if I click those classes, then I would be able to see the kids' names appear. I'll just click those 2 for now. Now at the top, I can see right here that this is the percentage overall. So out of all 3 classes that completed this is my percentage, 78% for the do now that day. Then it also breaks down question by question. So I can see that question 1 overall out of all 3 classes was 84%. Question 2 was 71%. Now, the cool thing is it also breaks it down by class for me. So these are my modified kids. These are my kids with an IEP. They were at 75% and 57%. And if I scroll down, my first class has 90%, 74%. And then if I keep scrolling down, I'd be able to see that, I can do it this way. I can see the other class as well, 81 and 73%. So again, it gives me the overall average of the entire do now for everybody. It gives me overall average, including everyone for both questions, but it also breaks it down by class. So if I have a class, like for me, my modified kids really struggled with question 2. And my second class was a little bit lower on question 1 than my first class, as well as question 2. So I need to make sure that I really hit it home with them as well. Another really cool thing that you can do, and I use this feature a lot, is you can break it down by question. So if you look at this is kind of similar to where if you were tallying data like on your classwork, where you would actually address a question of like, okay, kids are getting this wrong because they're picking this answer choice instead of the correct answer. So looking at this, and this all collects within the moment. So I can see this as a teacher as kids are answering it. And so I can actually see, okay, on question number 1, if kids were getting this wrong, they were picking B instead of answer choice C, which was the correct answer. So that allows me as a teacher, instead of having to go through every single kid and see what they picked, it already has done it for me. And so it's really easy to address any misconception in the moment. Another really cool thing that I can show you is you can see on this screen how it's green or red. So this shows you that a kid either got it right or wrong. The check next to their name means that it's submitted. I have it set that after kids submit, they cannot go back and change their answers, but it does share the correct answers. If there's a gray dot, it just means that they opened it. In the next video, I'll show you how you can actually use the show your work feature.